Hi everyone, welcome to Multisensory Monday, Sarah's Spelling School. Now there are some spelling rules that depend not on something like how many syllables are in a word or whether it's a long or short vowel, but rather they depend on what type of word it is. We're going to look at one of those rules today. I want you to think of the words artist and sweetest. So our rule today is, when do we use EST and when do we use IST? Here's what it comes down to. It comes down to what type of word is it. IST is used when it's a word that's someone doing something, like dentist or artist or hygienist, who would also be at the dentist. EST is used when it's a superlative, when something is really, really good. So you have tall, taller, tallest. Let's play a little activity here to help students practice that rule. Your students are going to need two things for this. One, they're going to need a note card. On one side, they're going to write EST and then decorate with something that represents that superlative form to them. So I actually used clip art because I'm a terrible artist, and this is showing tallest. So I have three different building sizes here: tall, taller, and tallest. The other side is going to be for IST. So your students will write IST and once again draw something that represents the IST spelling to them. So I have a little artist here. The next thing they'll need is just a sheet of lined paper. And at the top, they're going to make a T chart. One side is going to be IST and one side is going to be EST. Save some blank lines at the bottom because we're going to have them writing something there. What you're going to do is just say a word. Dentist, tallest, sweetest, longest, whatever word. Your students are first going to show you, would they spell that word with EST? They'll hold it up. Or would they spell it with IST? They'll hold it up. Once you see that everyone has chosen the correct ending, you're going to ask them to go ahead and write that word on the proper column on their paper. If you need to, you can also make a chart on the board so that students can copy down these words if they have a little bit of difficulty spelling with them. You'll go through that where students are just showing the ending and then writing the word in the chart for several words. Next, they're going to use that space at the bottom. And what they're going to do in that space at the bottom, they are going to pick one IST word and one EST word, and then they're going to have to use them in a sentence together. So it's going to be about someone doing something to the absolute best that they can. And they can mix and match. They don't just have to go straight across. So you're going to use quite a few words here. You might use artist, chemist, dentist, optimist, therapist. Those would be all IST words. And then some EST words could be longest, sweetest, coolest, happiest, busiest. Careful with those two, happiest and busiest. They're going to have to change the Y to an I like we talked about in another spelling school. So now your students have their whole chart filled out, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to try to come up with sentences. Maybe something like, my favorite artist painted the coolest picture in the museum. Or the optimist made a rainy day the happiest day of his life. So that students are not only identifying which spelling they're going to use, then they actually have to follow through and use those words in their proper functions in the sentence. I hope this activity goes really well for you and that your students have a great time with it. Thank you for checking in on Multisensory Mondays. Remember to like and share this video, and I will see you back next week.